And we are live.
Make sure no crazy looking shit in my background.
Because the ribbon is the undercard. And I'm gonna go slide into this to go to sleep. Welcome to Vegas, where the stiff rhythm of boxing beat.
Well, this nigga Frederick.
Thanks.
Results that will make great, especially for young undefeated prospects facing what like Stockton, California's 17-0 Gabe Flores Jr. The MGM Grand once again proudly posted that boxing is back. Yes, boxing is back, and it is now our second of our 3 live shows this week. We come to you from Vegas.
Oh, some boxing going on right now?
Yeah, man.
Fights come
Yes,
your way tonight. As
ESPN or?
good evening, everybody.
Me, ESPN.
Yes.
We're about to get to punches thrown in just a moment, but first, we got to discuss the news that happened today in the sport because there is disappointment for everybody involved. We were hoping to bring you a main event that included Nick Pierre.
Nigley? We're not gonna do this racist shit today, ESPN.
Nah, his name Mick Lake.
That nigga said Nigley.
Our reporter Bernardo Osuna is standing by with
Oh,
all the
wow.
details. Good evening, Bernardo.
Good evening, Joe. As a courtesy of the main event fighter, they were allowed
Yo.
a co-promoter, a manager, or representative to accompany them.
Oh, I can't even. What just happened?
In addition to their two-man team. Now, that provision has since been rescinded
build
due to the fact that Jose Ferreras, who is the manager of Mick Lapierre, who tested positive for COVID late last night. The result
I thought he was gonna say
he
cocaine.
was in the bubble since last time he competed right with Team Lapierre. So immediately, once that
Yo.
positive test came back this morning, the contract tracing
Let me see what just
was
happened.
put into place. That means that the team was removed.
You can't
from the
watch
bubble.
porn and
They
shit at the
left
same
the
time.
MGM Grand Garden property.
It's hard.
They were
It's hard to
quarantined
do.
It's too hard to do that.
They will be
It's hard to
retested on
do.
Saturday.
Nah, hold on, my
Test
headphones
negative,
is
they will be
bugging.
allowed to fly home. If someone tests positive again, they will have the
That's when you got
option
little
of staying
jizz on.
Oh,
isolated
okay.
here in Las Vegas for
All right, I get it, y'all.
14 days.
Her yell was too loud and it almost gave you a short.
I spoke with Jose Pedraza about
You heard this talking shit come too?
about the cancellation.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing.
I was like, yeah, Cole, you can't watch porn and stream at the same time.
Yeah, I just had to X out OnlyFans tab.
I feel that.
Yo, listen, man. I ain't even gonna talk about that. But I've been supporting the movement.
Me too.
I might have to jump on Riley review shit.
Snatch his whole wave.
That nigga be going
Nah,
crazy.
I'm gonna come through as a guest reviewer.
Hey, y'all, it's me, Palm.
Yeah, that shit wasn't that slapping.
She was alright.
She only on there sucking plastics.
Oh, man.
That my fight was canceled, and immediately I called Gabi Lopez, who's the publicist for Top Rank, and he told me
Damn, man, I'm dropping this record tonight. I'm nervous.
tested positive, so the fight is off,
Litu-
and I'm just very frustrated. Right now, I'm gonna go work out.
Whoa, what is this? What is this?
Okay.
Colton watching porn and trying to do the podcast again. They keep telling you.
Nah, I literally was watching a video about the mafia.
Oh.
Nigga watching theme porn. That shit crazy.
Oh, yeah. The beat.
Thought I had,
You want
thought I
to
had
beat
better.
it in this cup?
I thought
Well,
I had better
no.
friends than that.
Not even a little bit.
Oh shit! Watch out there now.
Don't leave me. Take me.
Don't lift me.
Don't leave me.
Don't lift me. Take me with you. That's my favorite shit right now, son.
I'm about
Don't lift me.
to do mad of them when I get bored with it. Just make the voice myself.
Yo, I'm just waiting for Twitter to give me voice tweets. I guess they don't fuck with me.
They don't fuck with broke boys like that.
Yeah, we don't got the clout.
That shit is crazy, son. Bank account went up 10 bands and I'm still broke. That shit is crazy.
That shit is crazy, right? No matter how rich you is, you broke because you ain't got voice memos.
I love to race with some, bro.
Partner, what's shaking, B?
I love crew. Oh, y'all see, I got the shirt on.
Oh yeah.
Go cop, potluck crew.
I don't even. Okay, you heard. Go cop. Cop the fuck up.
It looks like July 14th on ESPN Vegas, Lake Pierre Pedraza. So now the main event includes Gabriel.
Oh, my man Jay Lenz is in the building.
Jay Lenz was good, bro. Fuck is up, man. The Bones is out. The Bones is here, man.
20 years old. He's now 17
Love y'all niggas.
and he faces Uzek.
Fact.
Let me keep my sanity every week.
Oh my god, my door wasn't locked. Colton, I would have been so. I'd have left. I'd have fell out my doors. I'd have just left, bro. I'd just walk, just like y'all to just see my computer closed. Niggas was like, hey, this nigga Palm left? Yeah, it's over for that.
Yeah, you have to go.
It's over for that shit. It's done. That's fucking done, son. That shit is
Fucking done.
It's finished.
Fucking
done, son.
All right, so we have Gabe Flores now in the main event as we say hello to the ESPN boxing team on Warren Bradley, Mark Kriegel.
Y'all niggas tweeted the link.
Yeah, I retweeted it from the Haters Ball page. Make sure everybody in the chat go share the link.
With a scratch main event, keeping everybody safe. Dre, we find out.
Yo, Colton, look.
What up?
Cup. Got a World Cup.
World Cup.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me. You see the shoe? Balenciaga.
Don't leave me. She is so worldwide. What's good, baby? Wagwan. With the Wagwan. Listen, we ain't start chat. Hopefully y'all all getting prepared. You know what I'm saying? Making sure y'all got y'all snacks, got something to drink. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, man? Everybody listen to the chat. How y'all feeling? What's up? What's going on?
Sorry, y'all. I'm looking for the flyer.
You don't get paid till you get in the ring. But at the end of the day, man, what did that manager do Sunday? What did he do Sunday night? What did he do Monday? You know,
I fucking love sports news because what these niggas be talking about, son.
Who?
I love like sportscasters because what these niggas be talking about sometimes.
I don't even watch sports news. And
Niggas tell what did his manager do Sunday? What did he do today?
Nothing.
Nothing? Damn.
For Nick LePierre, who was on the front lines against COVID, this is the cruelest form of irony. But for someone else, this represents an opportunity.
Gina, what up, yo?
But a new co-main
What's
event
going on?
is the rarest kind
We
of
just
fight.
preparing, you know what I'm saying? First 15 minutes, we let the chat fill up. We let everybody come in. Make sure you like the video. Yo, if you got friends, send out the link. You know what I'm saying? If you fuck with us, tell them come fuck with us too. You know what I mean?
His name is Adrian Servine.
Yeah, fuck with the conversations we had. Get y'all peoples involved. Feel me? Tell them put
We do go
you lit.
Sharky because it's a
We fucking live. Let's do it.
The link is on the 84 show page, my page, Colton page, Palm page. You know what I'm saying? Share the link, drop a like. You know what I'm saying? So we can boost us a little bit. Yeah. Thumbs up, all that fly shit. All right.
6 rounds, bantamweights, young, unbeaten. Let's decide something. Let's start punching. And for that, here's Mark Shuno.
Shake.
Hey yo, did y'all listen to song 33 by No Name?
Welcome inside MGM Grand Conference Center.
The shit about J.
J.
Cole?
Cole? Yeah.
Nah. I didn't listen to J. Cole song.
So they basically just having a conversation with each other, and everybody is so emotionally charged that they're like turning it into a war. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Nah, her shit was a little.
He mad emotional, man. But she also kind of jumped the gun with what she said in the first place. But he also didn't read the room. He didn't read the room, man. He didn't read the room. And I feel like her response, like, is better. It just had validity. But at the same time, they were both having a conversation.
Yeah, they can do that. They can do that. And
But they can do that in private. Like, they don't have to make songs.
Around a couple times.
Like, y'all know each other. I know y'all know each other. Or y'all have people that know each other. Y'all hit each other up. Y'all can dead hit each other up. Y'all taking mad shit away from everything that's going on.
Yeah, they can get the fuck out of here with that, man.
Nah, don't hit me up. Don't hit me up. Nah, don't hit me up.
What?
I said, nah, don't hit me up. Don't hit me up. Nah, don't hit me up.
I mean, that's
What?
understandable too.
That's a fact, though.
That's dead-ass understandable also.
The whole situation to me is just funny. Like, oh, while all this going on, you thinking about me, now I'm gonna write a diss track to you, thinking about you, thinking about me while all this shit going on.
You think about me? Well, I'm thinking about you. Think about me. So guess what?
Guess what?
I'm finna make a song about it.
We thinking.
We all finna be thinking.
We all
Everybody
finna be thinking.
about
We thinking
everybody.
now.
What was on your mind?
It's a Potluck Crew member shirt. If you guys haven't realized, you should go get it from Potluck Crew.
Yo, I don't see no likes. I don't see no nothing, man. No thumbs up, no nothing. What's up?
Y'all not even subscribing. Y'all not thumbing up.
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Y'all not commenting.
Support black
I mean, y'all are
business, bro.
commenting, but
Nah, they commenting this late.
we
But
need the likes.
we need some likes, man. Post the video, man. Support black business, man. It don't even cost nothing. It's free. You feel me? It's free.
That's hilarious. What else mad crazy
He said,
happened?
fuck out of here. I ain't like the nigga do.
I'm trying to think of all the small shit that's not like the topics that happen.
What did happen? I don't know, man. This one.
Never really. I've also haven't been on Twitter that long this week.
Oh, nah. We got voice notes on these broke ass niggas. Yeah.
Oh, Trey got voice notes because apparently he's the only person rich in here.
Oh, yeah. Obviously.
My man Jono, what up, little bruh? Little bruh.
Yo, I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad app updates. None for Twitter. Fuck y'all, man.
I ain't get one Twitter update.
Oh, you probably gotta put your phone in rice.
Put your phone at rice.
Yo, listen to me. While all the voice tweeting shit going on, I check my apps. I got a Twitter update yesterday. I update the app. Nothing.
You probably been suspended too many times. They was like, if this nigga
I ain't been suspended. I ain't been suspended. I ain't been suspended on this account.
if this nigga don't know how to act and he got words, I can get this nigga no voice.
I have not been suspended on this account yet.
Honestly, I just know Twitter got me on a most infamous annoying list, and they was like, "Hey, this nigga got to get it last because we know what he gonna do. We know what he gonna do with this shit."
From what Fred told us, I know they're watching.
Yeah, my nigga. They're like, "Oh, this nigga's gonna terrorize people with that shit." I don't know how Trey got it. Don't know how.
What? You know why? Because I don't bother people. People bother me.
It's not even about bothering people. It's just those tools are very dangerous. Trey has just been bothering people.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
That's hilarious, bro.
I only bother one person on that app,
and they don't want that. They don't want. They're like, no.
They don't want bullying. You know what I'm saying? I bully everybody because everybody be trying to bully me.
I only bully one person on that app, and in all honesty, he deserves it. So I don't understand why am I getting penalized for this.
Man, listen, man. Sometimes, man, it's crazy. Fuck the hate chant, man. Shout out to fucking Motivated Apparel, man. Shout out to who else? Motivate. Oh, find out soon. The Potluck Crew.
And Hustle with a Go.
Hustle with a Go. Street C. Shout out to Hotep Nation. Those my guys.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who. Oh, Super Black Hope that just dropped.
Oh yeah, Super Black Hope.
Chef and Wild Black.
Chef and Wild Black, yeah. Chef and Wild Black.
I'm trying to think of some more.
Somebody told me this shout out their t-shirt brand, but I was like, were those proceeds going to like the families? Because you're using the families. He was like, oh yeah, word. And I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, word. Nah, not yeah, word.
Yeah, not yeah, word. Where the fuck is the fucking money, bro? What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, word. Nah.
Is that part of our topic?
I'm trying to make it.
That's part of our topic?
Because, yeah, that could be the first topic. Niggas trying to capitalize off fucking...
Of struggle and trauma and pain and fighting for actual equality.
Niggas trying to sell... They're trying to sell Woody Hutton shirts at the protest.
Niggas are still selling I Am Not My Ancestor shirts while doing shit that their ancestor did, but on a smaller scale. Still.
You know what it is? I figured out what's the problem, bro. People don't understand words mean things, right? So with Black Lives Matter, right? Of course, Black Lives Matter and shit like that, but it's easy for Black Lives Matter to get muddy because that's an obvious statement. Black Lives Matter. We know we matter. You know what I'm saying? We know that. So we don't have to say that we matter. That's literally the bare minimum. We know that, right? So when we use the bare minimum to describe like where we at and what we're going through our organization, that subconsciously seeps into who we are, who we become, and what we represent. And if you pay attention, that's a lot of what's going on. It's just this one bland ass title with no bylaws or rules or guidelines for anything. So people just like Black Lives Matter. So being that Black Lives Matter, I'm black, my life matter. I can do whatever the fuck I want. No, that's not how this shit works.
Yeah, I feel like
it's not an actual like the UNIA is an organization. You know what I'm saying? It has bylaws, it has a religion and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Black Lives Matter doesn't have that. It's literally, it was a hashtag that people copyright. So, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for a hashtag to describe the whole of blackness and our black struggle.
Man, I think that's what makes a lot of the misinformation and like the easy way of people just donating their bread away, like without really knowing where it's going to.
Yeah.
Like that's how that happens, like super easily, because it's like we know the hashtag and we know that it matters and it's that does mean something, but it's like when it becomes an organization at that point, it's like, so what's really happening? What's the FAQ on this? What's the manifesto, I guess, for like this whole type of situation that's going on?
Right.
Okay, where can I see like who runs what? Who's the leader of what? Who does this? Where this money's going to? Where that money's going to? Because like at the end of the day, you can say, "Give me money for injustice."
Right.
What's the injustice? Police brutality. Okay, but where's this money going? Into the state. But aren't they the ones who are really doing the police brutality? Yeah, but it's going to the state. So it's like at this point, it's like you got to be a lot more clear on what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, you're 100% right, bro. That's why. Remember, we had this conversation 2 weeks ago about being reactionary, and people using this moment to demobilize us. We're gonna get into that in a second. But using this moment to demobilize us, make it about themselves, capitalize on themselves. If we pay attention, this is the stuff we've been saying this was gonna happen. 2 weeks out. You know what I'm saying? They protested 2 weeks, and now we 2 weeks out, 2 weeks removed. Now you starting to see, you know what I'm saying? Most of the people in these social media areas are not doing anything besides getting their own shit off. They're trying to push their own agenda. This shit.
Activision is a good example. Activision with so I'm gonna tell the full story so that like it just don't seem like we're attacking them for no reason. But at the end of the day, they put up the first thing that they did when this all happened.
Hold up, because that's not the full story.
No.
Activision Activision has been allowing racism
Mm-hmm.
and prejudice
Mm-hmm.
on they chats
Mm-hmm.
for decades.
That's what brought people in.
I
A lot of the
want
time.
to I want to say at least 20 years,
However
probably
long they
15 years.
existed,
However long we've been gaming online, Call of Duty game chats have been the epitome of race chats.
just racism, like online.
Niggas don't even gotta hear that you're black.
That's
First of all, there's no such thing as sounding
sounding
black.
black.
Like you
You
can't
sound the
sound
color,
black.
nigga.
So niggas will just hear that you sound like you might be a black man, and it's nigger, monkey, jigaboo, all this, all from them losing a game and
let's
probably having
not
little
even
dicks.
let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about how and this is could go into the story that I'm gonna tell. Is they put up that screen talking about that they don't tolerate any type of racial stuff. They think all that stuff is fucked up, and they're gonna work hard to get rid of. Like Call of Duty's the game where I've seen people with the name like Kill All Niggers. Like I go against somebody and their name is Kill All Niggers, or like I go against somebody and it's like racist emblems. Like people being hung, KKK, they like make their own custom emblem. Like KKK is a clan tag that's like OD all the time, and it's like they did that.
Maga too.
Then 100 Thieves, one of the Call of Duty teams, they
Yo, turn your TV down.
Oh, whose TV is that, Palm?
Yo, turn that down.
But yeah, so 100 Thieves is a Call of Duty like professional team.
Mm-hmm.
And like they basically, I don't think they bought in to the Call of Duty competitive league.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Activision kind of has beef with them.
Mm-hmm.
So since they have beef with them, and because 100 Thieves basically they're on some shit like, nigga, we bring niggas to y'all. So why should we sell our likeness and shit to y'all when we bring fans? So they tried to do a tournament that basically all the proceeds would go to Black Lives Matter, and Cash App is the sponsor. What I found out through digging was Activision was gonna let it go through, but they said you can't have any sponsors because technically they're a business that they want all the credit. They don't want to share the credit. And when 100 Thieves is like, nah, as many sponsors as possible will probably get people more bread and it'll be like a better event. Activision was like, nah, y'all can't do that. We don't want that. So it's like it just shows like
And like to follow up, I'm gonna follow up with what's his name? I forgot the dude's name. Anyway, one of the people from 100 Thieves, like they put out a tweet in the video saying like they didn't put it out to disparage Activision, you know.
The Nate Shot?
Yeah, Nate Shot put out the statement like they didn't mean it this way and that way. But even if they didn't mean it that way, what is Activision saying? You know what I'm saying? What are they actually saying? You feel me? Like, oh, this cause is still like, all right, the cause is secondary to your business relationships and sponsorships.
Yeah,
and that's what we got to look at, like corporations with a side eye to where for so many years we've accepted those answers. You know what I'm saying? For since eternity, we've been accepting corporate answers as they address social issues, and they don't address the social issues. If there's a social issue and you turn down giving money to these people because you wanted the relationship and you wanted the credit and or sponsorship, that is not okay.
That's a fact.
That's not okay. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it's, you might say I'm overreacting a lot or whatever the case may be, but I hate having to. I mean, it's so many times where we walk in the world and where we sit down, and as black men, you know that the eyes is on you, whether it be black people on the train or not black people on the train, for how we look, and it's uncomfortable. That it's not uncomfortable. I'm comfortable in other people's uncomfortability with me. You get what I'm saying? But I don't want that in those spaces. I want to go.
Yeah, that shouldn't be regular. That shouldn't be the norm.
You know what I'm saying? Why do everywhere we go we have to fight for somebody to do the right thing by us? Like, it don't make sense why that's the fucking case all the time, every day.
And here's another thing, right? Like, as men, all of us said this as one of our points. Niggas play 20 years through people calling us out for shit that they can't see. Like, and we accepted that for 20 years.
Yeah.
Just for y'all to look at one instance where like y'all probably won't get all the credit, and y'all don't want to do that because y'all feel like, oh, we need to look like the saviors, only us. Like, I mean, I really think like even if it's on some business shit where it's like, yo, we don't want to share our business with these other people, bro. The situation that's happening right now, the Black Lives Matter movement has nothing to do with optics and everything to do with people are dying.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be secondary.
Right.
Like somebody said, this white dude that plays Call of Duty said, and I think he had the best answer. He was like, here's how you're flexible in the situation if you don't want to work with another company. We don't really want to do this tournament, so without having our name attached, we'll donate bread. And we'll let y'all do the tournament. Because letting them use the game don't mean that Cash App owns Call of Duty.
Right.
Activision still owns Call of Duty.
Right.
But I do get on a business standpoint, it looks like Cash App and them did a lot of the work. We don't want that. We want it to look like we did it.
They would ultimately be doing a lot of the work.
Right.
Exactly. But they don't see it like that. And that's where
Cash App already put up 100,000.
Exactly.
Cash App already put up 100,000. So it's not like they gotta raise money. They already put up 100,000.
My thing is, like, everything happened and like all these companies started putting out statements and pandering, and the video game companies did the same thing. The production companies, all that, they did the same thing on every game we play. They pandered to the black community and its supporters on their games when they don't really give a fuck. And I said that shit when it happened. Like, this
shout
is
out Ben and
pandering.
Jerry's though, because they've been on shit. But
shout
out Ben and Jerry's.
I said that shit when it happened. This is pandering because these people don't give a fuck. Like, at the end of the day, our community might not be the demographic that puts all the money in these companies' pockets, but at the end of the day, we are the community that makes these things pop. Call of Duty was always lit, but Call of Duty ain't get lit until Kobe Bryant was in a commercial. If we gonna be all the way honest, I can't remember what Call of Duty that was, but that Call of Duty where Kobe was in the commercial, they had all the stars in the commercial, like they was actually in the game.
Was that also the Call of Duty that had my son Chris Move, who was a 2K YouTuber that low key also started playing Call of Duty crazy and brought a lot of black people to the Call of Duty community?
I don't know which Call of Duty. I can't remember which Call of Duty it was exactly, but
I know what you're talking about though.
Like shit like that is what made y'all pop. Like y'all need us more than we need y'all. Cause I don't need to play Call of Duty.
I don't need to play
at all.
It's
not
mad
some
video
shit I need
games.
to.
It's mad video games out there.
It's not some shit I need to play. Like, it's not some shit I need to purchase. Most times I buy the shit, I trade the shit in within a couple weeks anyway, because I get tired of shooting people. It's like too aggressive of a thing to be doing all the time to me personally.
No, it's a fact though.
Like, for them to move like that, all right, y'all can move like that. That's fine. Niggas just ain't gonna
there's so many shooters out. I feel like they forget that, and they also forget that a lot of people complain about Call of Duty, even though it's good. Like, so many people complain about
some people.
Yo, I don't go into game chats. I don't go into game chats. I play Call of Duty in a party chat because I don't want to speak to white people. Like, even this is the funniest shit ever. Even when, like, say you in a game chat, even if a white person in a game chat seems to be like decent,
they gonna
we playing the game and they will eventually drop a nigger.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
They that comfortable over there.
I've had games literally where I've had to mute the person because from the start of the game, dude was doing this nigger on my team. He's on my team. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what are you doing? How is this even a funny team?
We're not on different teams. He's just saying nigger over and over and over again.
That is the nature of that game, and they do nothing to
toxic environment that they don't give a fuck about because they
do
know
nothing to get that out the paint. So
because they know it brings content. Also, they're not stupid, bro. Like, they know it brings content. Like, they know. Like, I was talking to some of my homies yesterday about World of Warcraft. Niggas don't even, like, that's not a black game. Like World of Warcraft never gave a vibe like, yo, if you're a black person and in this game and people know you're black, you're good.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, come on, man. When they say shit like, oh, we're not gonna donate or we're not gonna do this, I'm like, why are you surprised?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fact. You're 100% right about that. So using the J. Cole situation and the No Name situation, there was a situation the day before that kind of boiled over into that. To where there was a conversation about black men and black women and things of that nature. And about black men not listening and women needing to be, our women needing to be heard specifically. What were your thoughts on that?
What you said?
I said, what were your thoughts on that?
Oh, I mean, yeah, a woman need to be heard. I feel like right now is a time where it's not like we've talked about this on the episode before the last one, like to lead with grace. Like right now is really a time where we have to listen to our people, hear what they're saying,
Right.
and talk to them without trying to be condescending or without trying to like push down whatever they're talking about. Because two things can be true. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we can be being attacked from an outside force and have fucked up internalized like problems,
Right.
and we have to fix both of those things.
Mhm.
Of course, energy is going to shift from here and here, but we got to figure out a way that if a woman is saying black men don't make me feel safe, and then we're saying cops don't make black people feel safe, both those things should have equal validity, like because it dead ass makes sense.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I've just been mad big on trying to make sure that people are not silencing people, because like we've been like that's a part of our culture, like straight up, like silencing like women and shit, like is a part of our culture because we're told like we have to be in control of the household, and that's patriarchy. You get what I'm saying? You got to be in control of the household. You got to be strong. You can't be emotional, and that's why you see a bunch of guys say shit like, "Oh, I'm thinking with my logical brain. I'm thinking logically," when like they feel like the only emotion that exists is anger. So you're not thinking logically, nigga. Like,
Yeah, you
or
fucking
like
back
it's
up, fuck boy.
yeah, like calm down. But like again, yeah, like women, trans women, LGBTQ plus community, like we have to listen to them more and accept them more,
Yeah.
and be okay with being like, bruh, I was wrong for like thinking certain ways. Like it's dead ass okay to accept that. Like maybe your thought process wasn't a superior thought process.
Oh, absolutely. Palm, what about you?
I agree. Like we what Colton says, right? Like we gotta listen more and shit. But like all of this shit is just divisive. Like even more divisive. Like we just dividing ourselves more because it's now every day it goes from we warring with them to we warring with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And the J. Cole and No Name situation is a clear indication of that. Like
Right.
now it's y'all going back and forth about what really. Like the issues is still gonna be the issues.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas just gotta listen to each other.
Yeah. No, I'm with both of y'all combined. Both of y'all points to me kind of bring it all together, because I think like we say shit like the people that can run a country are the poor people, right? Because we've seen the government at its nastiest, right? Um, that kind of applies. Not even kind of applies. It applies intra-communally when I say like, um, when it comes to the treatment and defense, you know what I mean? It's two sides to this. When our women are killed by the police, it doesn't go up the same as when um the media and all that goes up for George Floyd, or you know what I'm saying, and Trayvon Martin, etc., etc. So like with the Breonna Taylor, it's just like the media is barely addressing that. You're just seeing tweets, updates about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the other side of that is though what we have to understand too, right? Media again plays a huge part in this. So here's the ugly side of media, that awareness has an evil side to it. So if you think back to slavery and you think back to buck breaking, what they wanted to do was break the strongest part of the community, in which the strongest meaning, the defenders of the community, the dominants. You know what I'm saying? The ones that protect, right? So if we understand what book breaking is, they broke the strongest male slaves through different sexual activities, punishment, things of that nature, right? So when we say modern day lynching, we have to understand that that goes into it. What would they want everybody to see? You know what I'm saying? They would want everybody to see a black male being murdered. And as much as we like to say that it's, you know what I'm saying, awareness when we spread these videos, a lot of the time it's parading more than awareness when it comes from the media's end of things. You know what I'm saying? So it's two sides to it. And we as black men have to be aware of those two sides and continuously uplift our women's stories, because when they are attacked or hurt or beaten and we don't do anything about it as protectors of this community, we are failing our community.
Facts.
I think for so long that we've adopted, again, the patriarchal mindset that white supremacy has placed on every, you know what I'm saying,
Every facet, like a
every
Black
culture.
Lives.
Yeah, every culture, every facet of whatever. That's just colonialism. You know what I mean? It takes over the minds and everything of that culture. If you think back to African culture and our culture, Big Mama run the house. As much as Grandpa bring home the bacon, Big Mama.
Nah, the lady of the house really
Right.
run the crib, bro.
Big
And
Mama run the
even
house.
to, I know I'm gonna let you continue just to piggyback off what you're saying. Stuff like what they did to like the male slaves, right?
Mhm.
I think now they see that black women are taking a lot of leadership roles and they are like making more money and are like smarter. So what they're doing is they're trying to minimize when things happen to them because they want to keep like an image like they're good, like they're good. And not only they're good, but to make us like be on some, to brainwash the niggas that don't understand that also women and LGBTQ people are going through this, so that they can also further be like, y'all not even on the news like that. I only know about
supposed to
dudes.
know, right.
So
also though, to piggyback off of what y'all both saying, like just imagine where we be if all of the famous cases of like black men being murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine if you turn all those into women. Just imagine if you turn Emmett Till into a little girl, or Rodney King into a woman.
Mm-hmm.
We might have been here sooner.
Yeah.
Because the world would have seen that and been like, you gotta just take it for what it is, man. You see things, you see the things that get done to black men on camera. If you see those things being done to black women on camera, the world is gonna take that in way differently.
Yep.
No matter how racist some women are, they're gonna take that in way differently.
Mm-hmm.
There's niggas that see some of that shit and don't feel no way.
But the only reason why they'll put a black man in the front is because like it's already labeled that like, because one thing I will say, like it's labeled that we're like super predators, like hyper predators, we're mad aggressive, like all that extra shit. Like, so when you think about black women, like I said, like there's a lot of them making more money, a lot of them are more CEOs, a lot of them are graduating from, they are the most educated like women. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to place them there. Most educated person, like the most educated person in it, period. But like with that, if you place people that actually have worth to the public eye, it's gonna make things change faster, like you said.
Yeah.
So, and it's like a double-edged sword that fucking sucks, because it's like, damn, you could just put black men on screen and like nothing will change because a bunch of people have like that like mindset that like, oh shit, the nigga's probably not worth nothing.
Yeah, but it's like,
and then you silence black women's story because people also like they're black and they're really not worth nothing. And it's even black dudes that's doing it too, or like fucking white women.
But like the crazy shit, the real crazy shit is like niggas say, like Breonna Taylor, the news not publicizing that. I never seen nothing about that on the news.
You heard what they said today?
I learned.
Yeah.
Hold up though. I learned about that on Twitter. I learned about her being murdered on Twitter.
Right.
Twitter has taught me everything I know about Breonna Taylor. I learned that from Twitter. So for people to be on this same app that only 330 million people use monthly and 125 million people use daily, to be on this same app screaming that like her name is being silenced and shit like that, when most people only know about this from here, that's a lie.
I don't think it's a lie. I
don't think it's a lie, but
I don't think it's not a lie. It's just that I said something this week. Like, a lot of people feel like if it's not happening on the timeline, then it's not happening in real life.
That's what this is what I'm saying. That's why I just said those numbers.
Yeah.
Because 7.5 billion people are on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Only 125 million use that app daily.
And break that down to section.
I don't even think that's less than
1%. But people don't usually put sample size into like their equations when they're thinking about things that's happening around.
It's because it's so close to them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, why the fuck are we going up for this and not this? You know what I'm saying? So I get it. If you don't see it, it's hard for you to imagine it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people just assume like if it's not happening on the timeline, it's not happening in real life. And I was saying the downside to that is when people do that, like, there are people on the ground fighting for Breonna right now in the community. You know what I'm saying? So when you do that, you say nobody's fighting for her besides you. You silence those voices. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the time, like, and I get it. Sometimes I get upset and I yell at people and shit. So I get it. I'm not holier than thou. What I'm saying is, what I'm learning is, instead of yelling at people that they don't know about it, I try to, like with the Planned Parenthood shit today, I try to just say, all right, here's the facts. This is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? This is what's happening, and let whoever deal with it and find it and deal with it however. Because the reality of it is this: not everybody is going to jump at a cause. And what I mean by that is, it's like we say, have some grace. You know what I'm saying? I think we had this conversation on here before already, but just touching on it again. A lot of people are just coming into wanting to work for our people, you know what I'm saying, and wanting to be involved and using their voices now to speak about black things. But a lot of people were not, because of business and because of relationship. And a lot of people were not because they had other things to do and other things to focus on. So y'all gotta understand, at one point, you were the people. You were the person who did not take these situations seriously, either.
I think it's Malcolm X who said that, like, nobody's born knowing everything or like anything.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I mean?
Your experiences and your areas, like what like molds you, your parenting, like your friends, the environment, like society, like laws, like, you get what I'm saying, like religion, like so many different factors. So it's like, that's why even right now I always try to, like, I be trying really not to argue with people. I really just try to talk to people, and like, if you don't really want to speak to me, then I'll just stop responding. Because again, it's like the lead with grace type thing. Like, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. You feel me? So you just gotta.
I'm glad I got y'all niggas, because I'm not graceful. I'm a bull in a china shop.
No, you're right, because that's how I feel about, like, with the shit with people, with the dudes like answering back like, oh, now the old black man is just like, my nigga. At some point,
don't even respond. Like, why you even responding to that?
If you're not guilty of it, why are you so tripped by this, bro? Like, but at the end of the day, bro, if somebody says, yo, you hurting me, you gotta say, okay, how am I hurting you? That's it. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, somebody can't come to you and tell you, yo, you hurting me. You like, no, I'm not.
That's like the people who I see some of the trashiest shit ever. I seen a meme of Rihanna, right? And the meme says some shit like, they're talking about Rihanna ass, and they like, it's like 4 pictures of Rihanna ass, the same picture, but it's zooming in every time. And on the last one, it says, arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. And I'm just like y'all out here doing this shit, like, just for like Twitter giggles.
Mhm.
Like, if you want to get Twitter laughs, then tweet about something else. Like, niggas is gonna laugh. Don't worry, you'll get your retweets.
Mhm.
But don't boil Shorty murder down to some shit like that.
Yeah.
That's Shorty life meant more than that. That's trash.
Yeah.
You're a fucking loser.
Yeah. And that's
Nah, I mean, I kind of agree with like what you're saying, Palm. But the one thing that like I feel like I learned is that like people handle different shit differently, right? So I know us, like we're some pretty like kind of serious dudes when it comes to like black liberation and like police brutality and actual situations that like cause trauma and pain on people. So we're not gonna like make jokes or do like that viral shit. Like I've literally seen somebody be like, "Oh, Beyonce sex tape leak. Look under this thread for it," and then it was just mad links for people to donate. So it's just like I get it. Like that's kind of corny to me, but different people process in different ways, and like sometimes like I feel like it's not worth it to like to kill some of your integrity to do like meme shit to get like real messages across. But if people do it and they do get people that actually care to pay, or like even some of the idiots that like I believe like sometimes they click shit just to see it, and then they'll see something and be like, oh shit, I learned something and this might be important, and they might Google some shit later. I guess mission accomplished. I do agree that I don't like it. Like my integrity won't allow me to do shit like that. But at the same time, like, you know, I can it's right for me to tell somebody. Like I told some of my homies before that like was dancing at protests and shit, like, yo, bro, if that's how you feel to express yourself, do that. But I don't think it's the time. And I've explained the whole shit to them and they understood.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I always tell them it's really not my place to tell you how to like fucking do your thing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But you should probably consult me maybe because I've done some shit before and I know how other people look at it. Because I've literally had like people that I knew a nigga that was a cop and he was like that. There was a protest one time and then like these girls started stepping and he was like, the cops always make fun of that shit. Like always make fun of it. And I was just like, damn, that's fucked up. Like they was like expressing themselves in a way that like didn't put their dumbasses in danger like it should have. But I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah. No, but like back to the black men shit. And another point that my man Cope, he was like, yeah, black men don't even listen to other black men. And I'm like, yeah, I was having a convo with Kay recently and I was just telling her like I was really thinking about it, like why don't we as black men listen? And I'm like, you could think about like even when you try to get like niggas to start thinking differently about shit.
Yeah.
You as they mans, how hard that shit is. You get what I'm saying? Like even like to get them to stop like doing regular shit, like yo, like you gotta chill on just calling random women bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like not all the homies is like that, but sometimes
but they be bitches though.
Like
it's like
yeah, and their explanation don't ever make sense,
right?
And it's like you just see them get defensive because they know like, and I also realize like with dudes a lot of the time it's like I get it, bro. I'm your friend. You want me to like you, but you fighting me right now is gonna make me not like you.
Exactly. Exactly, like, because you are a reflection of me. So if you cannot move properly, bro, I can't be around you. You feel what I'm saying? And how many niggas have we had to stop being around because of that?
Yeah, because they was on some weird shit.
Like trying to use us to get weird with our homegirls and shit. Like, bro, we will kill you, son.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, and that's why even I was talking to one of my homies earlier and I was just telling them, like, eat with friends, right? Because he was asking me a question about women and he was like, every girl do you meet, like, how, like, what's the ratio, like, from, like, platonic to, like, romanticized? I'm like, nigga, the ratio of platonic is always, like, almost 99%. Like, I never, like, meet a girl and I'm just like, I think I'm going to be her friend to try to beat. Like, I feel like that's such a fucking weird thing to do. Like, but other niggas think that's like, oh yeah, if she's cool, then at some point I might try to have sex with her. And I was trying to explain to him, like, yo, bro, I don't think you understand. Like, I feel like just with women, like, they're just vibe overall. Like it's more welcoming than
Yeah.
niggas. Like I told them around men, I always feel like I kind of have to have a certain guard up, especially if I don't fucking know you.
Yeah.
Like because like it's just dudes are like they do this weird chameleon macho shit that I. Cause it's like, bro, you don't have to be like that around me. You don't have to like you don't got a lot of kick it, my nigga. Like that ass. Like you don't have to be some weird nigga to like be cool. That's why I gravitate towards Palm. I gravitate towards you. Cause I remember like the first time meeting y'all niggas, it was just regular conversations. It wasn't no bravado, it wasn't no measuring contest. Who's a bigger nigga, who's tougher, like who got more chicks. Like it was never none of that shit. Like niggas are just chilling. So I feel like
that being weird that way.
I think that's a problem with like and just to bring back the men don't listen to each other. Like a lot of niggas become friends to validate each other instead of like to be friends.
So fucking true, bro.
Hold on,
my god,
that is so funny because
my god,
niggas
do be looking for hype men.
Yeah,
that reminds me of a very funny quick story. The first time I met a certain gentleman, the very first thing he said to me. Mind you, we're at a bar in Williamsburg at a fucking party. A party with a bunch of people that we both know. The first thing the nigga said was, yo, I left my gun in the car. Yo, I looked around the bar like, what? Why did you even tell me that?
Nigga, you trying to fuck the party up?
I was like, all right, whatever.
I don't know, man. I just feel like that, like trying to the validity shit, like I think that's a part of like the issue of people being divisive.
Yeah,
because people need to be valid. Yeah, and it's like if they feel like they're not valid, they're gonna raise hell until they make themselves valid in a way.
Yeah. Like to themselves, like nobody be agreeing. They'll just yell into the air until they agree more with themselves.
Oh man, yells at sky, man.
Yeah, that's literally what it is, bro. And it's like if you niggas don't understand, look. Hold on, let me tell you the secret. Look. Don't let bad stuff happen to black women in front of you. If that is a hard concept for you to grasp, we don't need you.
Yeah, like even small things. I remember I was talking to one of the homies and I was saying
quick mats.
Yeah. Quick Max. I was talking to one of the homies and I was telling him like, yo, bro, we're all part of the problem, right? And then he was just like, nah, we never did. And I'm like, listen to me. We're all part of the problem. This is me as Colton, as a nigga that's just tried to make every woman feel as comfortable as possible. Like we're all a part of the problem. There's been times some of your homies have said some questionable shit and you probably laughed it off. That's part of this, making part of the system move. Like, or there's a time where a nigga said some uncomfortable shit and you probably just slipped it off like, what the fuck is he talking about? Just walked away. And then you find out probably later down the line, the nigga's a weird nigga. So it's like, if we start taking accountability and then making ways for people to unlearn these weird ass behaviors, bet. But to just be like, nigga, not me. It's not me. I didn't do that. It's not me. I never did nothing. Like,
I've never hit a baby in my life.
It's like, yo,
bro,
dog,
dude, put your, you drooling.
Like, it's dead ass okay to like, you made mistakes. Yeah. Like, certain mistakes are unforgivable, but at the same time, like, we're human, right? Like, so just correct it. That's it. Like, be better.
That's it. It's simple maths, man. This is not a long conversation. It's literally shut up and listen. That's it. That's it. Because when it's time, and here's the other part. A lot of black men feel victimized and they don't know how to say it.
Exactly. Because they feel weak when they
right. So what they do is they project when women speak on their issues. Like, oh, we go through shit too. What shit?
What you go through?
What you go through?
And then
right?
Like, that's personal.
That's personal shit, right? But I'm not making fun of that person. What I'm saying is that right there is real deep-rooted issues that a lot of black men have. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to being victimized in different ways, because we don't see a lot of things as abuse. We see it as regular shit that happens to us.
Facts.
Right? You know what I mean? And it's different from the way our ladies go through it. You know what I'm saying? Some of us, of course, have been sexually abused and things of that nature. Not to get into that, you know what I'm saying? Not to traumatize anybody or bring any feelings up.
That's a
But
fact.
you know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes have been there. You know what I'm saying? So they can relate, but they can't admit that they can relate.
Facts.
So a
That's a
lot of the
fact.
time it comes
And
out
you
as
know,
over, you know what I'm saying? They projecting and it's this overly macho act like, oh, y'all don't go through shit, we go through shit. It's like, bro,
It's like,
you
bro,
hurt,
I get it.
you
You
hurt.
go
you
through
know
shit.
why too though? A lot of niggas be adopting like street bravado when like that's not even your body, bro.
Yeah,
Like for
true,
what?
true.
If
And you
you
don't have to
if
do
you
it.
if you've been a victim, you've been a victim. There's no problem in that.
Street niggas have been
Just
victimized. How you think they got hardened?
this
No,
is this
nobody
is
gets
what I'm trying to
hardened
tell
like
you.
with nothing happened to them. Like nobody
A
has
nigga
had nothing happen
a
to them.
nigga did not come out the womb the most gangsterest nigga ever. It's impossible.
Right?
It's soft in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Babies be in there with their
It's the
fucking legs
world.
crossed.
It's the fucking world. And even with that like the niggas taking the street bravado, I don't know if niggas realize or look around, but it's fucking 2020 and shit is mad different. Like you
Yeah.
don't even have to do that if you don't have to do that. Like that's why I'll never take anything away from real street niggas because it's like, yo, real street niggas almost didn't have a choice. At some point, it became like that was like their lives.
Yeah.
So how can I fault them for that? But the niggas that's just like out there, like on some you 30 and coming home, like bro,
Nah, nigga,
bro,
really go home.
Yeah, go home.
really, you should
Go
really
home.
go to your kids and your family.
Like there is like it's funny because the ladies was like, so why do we have to speak to these niggas like they kids? Let me tell you something. As a man who's
It's a
close
grown man.
with these niggas,
They
I'm
stupid.
telling you, they are children mentally.
They're emotionally children.
Emotionally children, bro. I'm telling you. Think
Not even joking.
think about how emotionally childish you have to be for somebody to say something to you don't like and you feel embarrassed. So now you have to kill somebody.
They have to hit you with a fucking rebuttal, gaslight you, or make you feel bad for like how they feel. That's literally someone with like very low emotional IQ.
Right.
So like you just have to peep, like, and like I'm not telling you because
You
again,
don't have to baby these niggas at all.
you don't have to because you're talking to two teachers and somebody who's always been around teachers and like dealt with kids before. It gets fucking tiring.
It gets
Like
it's
it's very fucking tiring.
right.
So you don't have to hold niggas' hands and shit. But you can go, hey, that's hot, put your hand on that, it's gonna burn, and then walk away. And then if the nigga's like, well, you could burn your hand, then let him put his hand on the fire.
Let him put his hand on, and we'll hold it there for you.
We will. I don't gotta do it.
Y'all
We'll
don't
get
gotta
ass
we'll
grab
hold
from
their
the
hand to the
like,
fire.
here
No,
you go,
you
get
asked for
that,
it, you
nigga.
stupid
You
fuck.
wanted this, you stupid motherfucker. You
Yeah.
stupid fucker. And
Right.
then we work on reform. You get what I'm saying? Some people gotta go through a crazy moment, but
it's
but a
real
lot
shit.
of people just need to learn how to express themselves, and that's
where I think we come in for the most part,
Yeah.
because women can reiterate it in as much as they want, right? But even with those homies that's hard headed, they eventually learn. If they don't run away from you, eventually they later on they pick up, right? And that comes from us being the example, right? Because there's plenty of times where it's like, yo, I told him like, yo, you got to move kind of different out here, bro. It's like we all people first. I understand we banging colors, but we people, right? Just last week, nigga called me. It's like, son, my young boy, he called me like, yo, son, I'm finally seeing what you saying, bro. Cause like my nigga died, but I watched the TV and seeing somebody who looked just like my cousin get bodied by the police, and it's like I want to kill the nigga that killed my homie. But why I don't want to kill this policeman like I want to kill the nigga that killed my homie? You know what I'm saying? And I was
Facts.
like,
Think
damn,
about it.
son, that's crazy. Like, and that's not something I had to tell him. You know what I'm saying? But it's
They figure it out.
They figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And I think as men, when we start to step into these roles as elders, we got to lead more by example and be very vocal on what we say and what we do in front of these brothers as well. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Because although they the homies and all that shit, when they see us revert back to a lot of the shit we used to do, it makes them feel like, oh, okay, he never really, you know what I'm saying? So we
And not even that, but it makes them feel like they got the green light to just keep wilding.
Right. You got to be that break. You got to be that fire hydrant, break in case of emergency type of thing. You know what I'm saying, for the homies, and that's what I've seen that has worked for me, especially when it comes to the young boys. It's like I'll tell them something, but I'm gonna show you just by how I move and how I act and my consistency and showing up every single time. I'm gonna show up for my young boys every single time. There's never a time I won't show up for them, so they understand that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where, you know what I'm saying, when women say they tired of it, that's where we got to come in and say, all right, baby girl, we got the kids. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got
you.
kids.
You tired? I got you.
You know what I mean? And I like, what's crazy is it's like I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, y'all said y'all was gonna do this, y'all don't really care, and y'all don't really care about protecting women. And it was like, I'm not gonna combat that and say, oh, I've done this, I've done that, but it's like a lot of this shit, man, is like, it's action. You can't speak. You know what I'm saying? It's action.
Yeah.
And if you've been that man, then your actions would have spoken for you at this point. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, if it hasn't, it's pertinent for you to step into this role as protector.
And it's very important. And I feel like niggas have let memes get in the way of like them actually being like people with principle driven.
Yeah.
Like niggas be scared to like be called like a simp or like fucking like or a pick me or some next shit.
Yeah.
But like being like, hey, guess what, guys? Everyone black matters. Like no matter who they are.
Right.
Like so I just feel like,
and it's important. Oh my! This is another thing that kind of bust my head the other day, right? So, yeah, I remember my mom coming up on here and she was telling about the story of being in an abusive relationship and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And she said that, you know, that was because in her class, you know what I'm saying, dealing with men and being mistreated and things. You know what I'm saying, the father figure issues and things like that. So you got to understand that when we, as men, break our women, it passes on. You get what I'm saying? Because she told you about how then she started to abuse me in a type of way. You know what I'm saying? So the abuse we face, you know what I'm saying, comes from our eldermen. You know what I mean? So a lot of the time we got to think big picture because we don't want to be that elder now passing that trauma on to your nephew, your son. You know what I'm saying? The people that grow up in our communities. And I was like, yo, that shit is really bust my head because a lot of the time as men, that what like me, like for me, like I never held it against her because I understood where she came from, right? And what happened to her as a woman that made her, you know what I'm saying, do whatever she had to do to react to me how she reacted to me. So I never held her accountable for that. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the consensus. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men hate the woman that hurt them or abused them. You know what I'm saying? Or done whatever the case may be.
Of course, a lot of the
time. That, you know what I'm saying? Somebody hurt her.
A fact. A lot of trauma.
And I think once we get to that point, we can start to talk about healing and empathy and understanding each other because somebody hurt that person that hurt you. You know what I mean?
And then, like we also, just to piggyback off that, we also, a lot of us grew up from those old school black mentalities where colonization wasn't that long ago. You get what I'm saying? So like a lot of them have this mindset that like they got to run a nuclear family, and within a nuclear family, one thing I've realized is like a lot of nuclear families, they keep lives together to keep the family's image good, and it's a lot about optics. So that's where, in case like I ended up like with my aunt, right? My aunt always tell me I look like my grandfather. Aunt, amazing woman, lovely woman, but she beat me a lot of the time, and I used to like come home with like grades that were all right, and she would still beat me. And in my head, I'm just like, why are you beating me? My grades are not even bad. And I'm coming home with an 80, like you beating me. And I remember there was a time where I got older and I had a conversation with her, and she just talks about how much she hated her pops for Aretha, like that she thinks I look exactly like. So I'm just like, damn, you got abused by somebody. So the only way you felt like to raise somebody and love somebody was that same way.
Right.
And you got to take out your frustration to him on somebody that looked like him. So, and I understood that also. But again, like you said, I had a lot of friends around me that hate their mom.
Right.
Like hate their mom.
Right.
And it's like mad
That's,
crazy. Like some like hate their mother, hate like women in their family. And then when I ask them about shit, and then I get to the nitty gritty, just like you said, I get to the nitty gritty of it, and I find out it's like family problems. Like, oh, they got like probably abused by somebody else. They probably had beef with their own family. They had problems with their own people. So they have problems. So it's of course it's a cycle of just trauma, just fucking tumbling down a hill. At some point, somebody got to stop it. And I decided I wanted to be one of the
I will
niggas
tell
to
you
stop
this much. I will tell y'all this much. And to everybody listening. To hate somebody, that's something that's continual. You gotta continually think about that. You have to continually be dedicated to that. Like, think about somebody you love right now. You don't gotta think about if you love them. You know that.
You just
you don't have to. That shit is just a natural thing. Hate not really natural. That's something that comes about from anger.
Yeah.
So to hate somebody, you gotta literally just be in that all the time.
Yeah.
That shit is a job in itself.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
That shit is, and that's why I always.
Why do you want to work some fucking 24-hour-a-day job like that with no pay?
Yeah. And you know,
but even if you get some retribution from that person that you hate, you kill them, you fuck them up, whatever.
It never heals the scars. Yeah.
After you done, it's over.
Yeah.
Some niggas have a void, right? Like a lot of niggas have. A lot of black people have a void, and they decide what they're gonna fill that void with. And hate is like a never-ending void, because the thing about hate is like, just like you said, right? You can hate a nigga on your block your whole life, be like, I want harm done to this nigga, right? A car hits him and he dies, you're still gonna be mad that you didn't get that revenge. So it's like you're in like this forever spiral, and then when he's gone, now you're gonna try to find another person to hate. So it's like you never really figure yourself out when you spend a lot of time worried about other people. And I had to like figure that out. Like, yo, there's times where I'm just like, damn, why this person don't like me? Why this person don't like me? Why this person don't like me? And that was like a never ending filling a void with people that I felt like me. And then when I felt like they don't, then I'll expel them and put up. And then it was just like, nigga, do you know how that works? You can just find people that accept you for you, speak to you for real, keep you accountable, and like are genuinely your friends.
Right.
And then that void will never have to be filled again.
That's a fact.
I ain't gonna tell people not to hate.
No, I'm not saying that.
That would be the opposite of what we do this show for.
Yeah.
Fact.
But let your hate devolve into something. I mean,
productive.
I ain't gonna tell people not to be angry, because like anger is what creates the hate. Let your anger devolve into something like more productive than hate.
Yeah.
Because like hating people not gonna get you no, unless you're trying to be like the greatest serial killer ever. Hating people not gonna get you nowhere.
But here's the key to that hate. The hate is never truly reserved for that person. Going to therapy, I realized that my hate that was outward because of what happened to me was my hate for myself for allowing it to happen to me. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's where the trauma was. So for example, right, I used to hate the way my mom used to talk to me. So I used to go to another place because although I used to hate the way my mom used to talk to me, that's my mother. I will never disrespect my mother, raise my hand at my mother, talk crazy to my mother, no kind of way. But Colton, you know me like for real. When I snap, I snap. So and it's like
and it's indiscriminate.
Yeah, it's indiscriminate. So I was like, I could never ever give mom. There's no if and there's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no middle ground with me. At that point, I'm either snapping or I'm not. So I used to go to this dark place, let her yell, and then come back too. So if, you know what I'm saying? So when it was time for like a small or minor issue, because I never addressed that anger and pull my mom aside and say, yo, this hurt me or this bothered me, I completely lash out on everybody and completely black out. That place I went to when I blacked out, that never actually goes away. That monster's just sitting there like, okay, man. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for that monster to come out, it's gonna come out. So you always gotta address that monster like, look, this is what you feeling and this is how you feeling. You know what I mean? So You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when it comes to hate and healing, you gotta understand where the hate comes from in order to give yourself the ability to heal. And a lot of the times, it takes you forgiving yourself because sometimes you just didn't know better. You know what I mean?
That's a
You just
fact.
didn't know better. And with these traumatic issues, that's kind of what I see hearing other people speak, and then also doing my own therapy and working through my own trauma in my own time. You know what I mean? It's a lot of once you address the inner, the outer becomes a lot more clearer. Like you start to see people for who they are because you start to see how much of a person you are, how layered you are. You know what I mean? A lot of times we just label ourselves as angry or a mood. We're not a mood. We're so many different things at so many
Yeah.
different times. You know what I'm saying? You gotta allow yourself to be that.
I think
I'll be a mood. I'll be a mood.
of course.
I'll be like, I can't remember what the gif is from, but the nigga that he just walks into the spot and he be like, "Whoop, all right," turn around and walk out.
The Simpson shit.
Nah, it's another. It's a little weird nigga with big ears.
Oh, it's hilarious. But yo, I mean, again, like, I feel like that also comes from when you figure out like what your principles are and you decide to stick by that, and you figure out who you are and like what emotions are for real. Because like we all went through our journeys of figuring out like it's not only anger and sadness. Like it's it's like so
Yeah.
much good shit like in the world. Like literally, I always tell niggas all the time. Like the end of last year was the first time I cried out of joy
Hmm.
because I didn't believe like when you're happy you could cry.
Yeah.
Like when I remember really growing up and seeing movies of people crying to happiness and being like, "What a fucking movie! Like what the fuck? People crying because they're happy? That's reserved for anger and sadness."
It's never
Like
happened to me, but I know it can happen.
yeah, like, and it's happened to me. So it was just
It's
like,
happened
oh
to me
shit,
before for sure. I'm a
this is
crier.
crazy. And it's just like, at some point, you figure out, like, damn, man, like, I'm a human being. And, like, there's so many different layers to me. And I was, man, worried about specific layers of myself that makes me myself
Yeah.
to the point where I hit it and then I did a whole bunch of shit. And, like, and it didn't do anything for me at those points. But like I had to go through that because I had to figure it out at some point. And
Yeah.
that's how you start learning shit.
We all do. We all do. We all do. Gotta go through that shit at some point. Cause that shit it plays us like all throughout adulthood. Like, and we try to pretend it doesn't, but it does. It does. Um, the fucking the Russell Simmons doc. Well, no, I don't want to talk about the Russell Simmons doc. We seen it.
He a nasty son of a bitch.
Yo, listen, man.
He gotta get some hands.
We could drop a couple balls on him because I ain't know Russell Simmons was that fucking nasty, bro.
Yeah, he's
Like
fucking.
I
never
knew
fucked with
Russell
his
Simmons.
mom, bro.
I knew Russell Simmons was a wild boy in the '90s and the '80s and shit like that. But his fucking yoga, fucking vegan rebrand
I didn't fuck with
really
it,
put
bro.
all of that in like out of sight, out of mind type shit.
Yeah.
That nigga was a nasty, nasty cocaine driven motherfucker.
The second the yoga rebrand happened, I remember being like, I always told niggas I felt like this nigga was sus, but something's up. And I didn't know what it was. And then when I found out later on, I was like, it makes mad sense. Like niggas always try to be the super non-peaceful person, like after they do like a whole bunch of horrific shit.
Mhm.
So it's like I just know that I wouldn't tell anybody to really go watch it if they're triggered by like things like sexual assault and shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like really fucked up.
It is
And,
really.
like, I was really like mad tight watching that
I'll tell
shit.
y'all this much though. He did that shit.
He did that.
That shit. Oh yeah, he did.
They say he did that shit. He did that shit.
He did that shit. What else? I had some other quick hits. Lost it. I had the hits. Let me tell you that. Oh, Palm, you was talking about. We had a good conversation about class, right? So the conversation is kind of. I mean, Palm is going to lead this conversation. He had some really, really good thoughts on it. But classism within the black community, pretty much, and how, there's a racial divide in America, but there's a class divide in America that precedes the color line. But yeah, Palm, take it away, man.
I mean, it's just some shit that I see a lot on the timeline and in life in general. Like niggas be I mean, we joke about it a lot. Like we joked about it. We was joking about it earlier with the voice note shit. Like niggas is poor and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like the jokes is the jokes, but a lot of times people be serious about they classes shit on social media when they engage in it. And that shit is trash. Like you still the same poor that person that you're trying to belittle is. You're not in the 1%. You're in the same, you might not live check to check, but you're in that same class, no matter what you think. Just because you went to a better school or you might have went to school, like none of these things make you better than another person. And people gotta come to terms with that. Just because you wear European clothes and that nigga might wear clothes from fucking, I don't know, H&M, like, but that's European too, right?
Yeah.
But you get my drift. Like they cheap. Like that shit like that is whack shit, and that shit creates like more division amongst us when we got a greater enemy in front of us.
Talking about the black capitalism? Or the black capitalist?
It kind of. I guess it goes hand in hand.
Yeah. What you're saying is that's a big piece of why I take on this stance a lot, because I feel like people feel like only the academics can speak on our behalf, and it's like there's no I'm more black than you, but there's more experience than you. My experience is different from yours as a black person because I come from poverty. You may understand poverty from an academic and studied point of view. I understand poverty from a lived experience point of view. Who do you think can speak to the issue better? You get what I'm saying? And that shit blows mine because people can say however they want, and they can say they respect what I say and respect who I am. There is a very noticeable type of black y'all want speaking at y'all events.
Yep.
There's a very noticeable type of black that attends those events, and there's a very noticeable rhetoric surrounded by those events. For example, a lot of people in those spaces refer to poor kids as inner city youth. Like, no, we're black people and human beings.
Yeah, I always feel like
Yo, hold up, another point that I missed. Hold up 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Classism is like the big brother. Like racism is like classism's little big brother. Like we know that nigga more, but classism was way before him. Like people being classist came before people was even being defined by the color of their skin.
that's a fact.
Professionalism is like classism little cousin.
Not really. Nah, y'all can't see.
All I see is little niggas running.
I see little kids running.
You see the white kid like chasing the little black baby. You saw the white kid. Trump put the news banner under it that says "Terrified black baby runs away from racist baby." Like this is from his actual hilarious Twitter account, bro.
I hate him so much, son.
Bro, I don't want to laugh at him, but why, bro?
Yo, I recently started like getting into like a very funny rabbit hole. Like apparently I've been watching a lot of libertarians and like liberal.
They are retarded.
Like, those people, they've been explaining the alt-right and neoliberal rabbit holes, and their whole thing is memes. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, their entire strategy to get people to be down is memes. And honestly, it's so stupid that it's genius. Like, they like grasp on to like high celebrity figures that are white that kind of show their ideals, and then they like spam shit to make them seem like they're part of the movement. And because these crackers are cowards, they never outright say like, I'm not a Nazi, or I'm not alt-right, or I'm not a neoliberal. They just let it keep festering. And I just was like, I fucking hate them. I hate Ben Shapiro. I hate the gun girl. I hate all of them. It's just mad of them that are fucking stupid. Oh, fuck. That alt-right, all that shit is fucking Trump posting that is like straight out of the alt-right playbook, bro. Like that's some 4chan shit. Like I feel like he just has a bunch of people from 4chan that works for him.
Mm. Yeah, it's wicked, man.
That shit is super wicked because you know who that's gonna go to. That's not going to older voters. That's going to the new voters.
Yep.
They're gonna look at that and laugh.
Yep.
So that's why again, it's important to talk to young people.
Sorry for the distraction, but that shit just caught me off guard. But back to the shit. Well, yeah, that's why I remember we was having a conversation about HBCUs, and I'm telling you, I don't like to put them down. I just like to address issues. Like me as a Black Greek going to HBCUs, they look down on me because I'm not part of the HBCU community. You know what I'm saying? There's been times where certain bros didn't want to accept me, and I had to put a couple niggas on their ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta have aggressive conversations with my own bros because of where I went to school at.
That elitism shit, bro. We talking about that class
You know what I'm
shit.
saying? That's the class.
They making a class system. Like how y'all in the same shit, right? You come from, and I know what you're talking about because I already know all about it. Like, and not even like this, not even Howard. Like, say you go down south, niggas would look down on you, because you come from up north and you in the frat. I just be always looking at shit like that. Like, how do y'all not see an issue with this?
Yeah, facts. Like, and it's crazy because like it didn't happen every time. Like, I've been to like FAMU and shit like that, and it was cool. Like, they showed me mad love. You know what I'm saying? I've been to different HBCUs, but at other HBCUs, I'm not gonna say no names. There was a very weird energy, and I'll give you an example. I went to one of these HBCU homecomings, right? So this is a big school now. So you know how like at St. John's it's like one big block party, right?
Yeah.
On a strip. There's multiple strips. There's the Greek strip. This is where the AKAs are. This is where the Kappas are. Their own little strip. Then you got the Zetas. Everybody's separate, right? And then after you leave the Greek side, there's the, you know what I'm saying, there's the hip hop tent, there's the reggae tent, there's that. So we got bored of being in the Greek side when we was at, and went over to the reggae tent, and this was down south. So we go over and we found the reggae. We was hyped because we didn't hear reggae this
Of course.
So we dancing and we turning up with them. We got our letters on and shit. And they turning up with us. They're like, yo, this is crazy. We was wondering why they were showing us so much love or whatever the case may be. They're like, yo, this is crazy. Alphas and the Greeks, they never come this way. We was like, what? They was
What?
Like, they never party with us.
Don't they be out there?
What do you mean? They right there. They was like, have you seen any of them walk over here? I was like, oh, okay, sorry. But like, yo, the girls was talking to us. They was like, yo, like a lot of the time there's the Greek side, and then there's the rest of the Black students who just kind of follow the wave of the Greeks or just completely separate. And there's division on Black campuses too. You know what I'm saying? So we got to address these issues within our community as well. So it's not to take away, because I've gone through fucking classism in the fucking corporate world, like because I'm not a top boss. This Black boss don't really want to deal with me. But it's been times, you know what I'm saying, a Black boss has taken me in, but a lot of the times, even in the same department, because this Black dude has been there longer than me, he feel like he's better than me. You know what I'm saying? This happens. This microcosm happens everywhere, bro.
Literally to piggyback off the Trey work thing. Like Trey and I worked together at a company where it was just like, I did a internship and it was like, on the side with all the white people that have full-time jobs. And I'm an intern. I am getting paid, but the way that only a few of them really like accepted me, but the way that all the higher ups and other people would treat me, like it's just really like like, oh yeah, look at our inner city youth that we brought in. That's how I felt. Like literally like an inner city youth that they brought in because I was on the B side. Remember, I kept coming back and telling y'all like, yo, that shit feels crazy because like I'm over there. Everybody's coming up, walking to me, telling me what shit is, and like asking me. And then the random nigga kept like the VP kept coming to ask me what I'm doing while I'm working. He's not asking anybody else. And I was just like over there, like, nigga, this is racism, but it's more classism than anything else. Like, so it's like, bruh, that shit is a family. You know, that shit comes, it's a package deal. Like, that shit is literally a package deal.
Yeah, definitely. Because like a lot of people be like, "Oh, what privilege do I have?" Listen, man, we all got different privileges. Like, we all got different privileges.
We all got different privileges.
You gotta know them. You gotta know them because if you don't, you're gonna offend somebody, and you'll offend somebody or offend a group of people, and they will never fuck with you again. But yeah, those are quick hits. Y'all got anything?
Basketball. What's up with basketball?
They doing some whack shit too. That's kind of like some shit that's on what we talking about right now. Like they about to roll all of the players in the NBA that go to all of the players that's gonna be in the little bubble. They're gonna have these goddamn rings on that can basically that are
on, right?
They're gonna be wearing these rings
Take it off.
That are about the rings are about 90% accurate with predicting if they've contracted COVID.
Wait a minute, these niggas got Green Lantern rings? What the
fuck?
Bro,
I'm sitting here and I'm just like, what makes y'all think that's fine when people are proposing like bills for society to go on like being 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off until COVID is solved. Like school is talking about being 2 weeks, a week on and a week off to keep shit down. And like y'all are giving out
science.
Y'all are giving out fucking.
Yo, nobody's looking at science no more.
Is nobody looking hard?
Going outside and COVID cases are rising. Everybody's
but even
outside, open it back.
Yeah, but what Paul just said, right? The first thing in my mind that I thought was, wait a minute, niggas got a ring? What? Did no one else talk about this before? Is this like, does everyone skip over and this is what Kyrie's talking about?
Yo, that's exactly what I said. I was like, yo, this is exactly what Kyrie talking about, bro. Y'all are gonna take something that could help society, help the world, and use it just to help bring back basketball.
Capitalism.
So some billionaires won't lose a little bit of bread.
That they don't play
y'all. I don't give a fuck about them niggas. Basketball. I'm fine with it.
I'm still thinking about that ring though, because like what? Bro. Like the not only are the people like fuck science, but like the government's like, if we sprinkle a little bit of this in the media, maybe niggas won't read that we have a fucking arc reactor ring like Iron Man to put on niggas fucking fingers to tell if 99% accurate. Wasn't like a few months ago these
90,
niggas 90% accurate. Wasn't like a few months ago these niggas was saying like they can't say the percentage. Like literally like a few months ago they was just like, we don't know, like it's pretty accurate. That was the words they was using, like pretty accurate.
Yeah.
But
to be at 90 and be like, oh, for basketball, let's unleash this.
We're living in a trash simulation.
Yeah, bro. We woke up in the bad one. We woke up in the bad one. Yo, you know what?
Look, I'm going to repeat. COVID cases are rising, and y'all talking about outside, it's open.
Niggas are wild.
Have y'all not seen Texas? Have y'all not seen Florida? Like
Georgia.
Georgia.
What country? What just had some crazy number today?
China is about to shut down again.
Yep.
Beijing
went back to level 3. Like, people think this is a joke, man. Like, I understand we outside. Like, I think people seeing that the protesting and shit happened, and niggas was like, oh, that's not doing nothing. COVID is gone
No, it is. The news is not covering it,
outside.
bro.
It's
The
just
news
like,
not even covering it. The news is actually trying to like bait more like debates between like the left and the right, and I've been like seeing that like a lot. Like every time I go upstairs, like it's like Chris Cuomo talking to the union president in Texas, and the union president in Texas is like, "I think that cop was right," and like Chris Cuomo's like, "How is he right? Obviously the law says this." And then like in my mind, I'm sitting down and I'm like, Chris Cuomo's right, but he's dramatizing this OD because he knows this nigga's wrong. But like it's the news. They need to show that. Like that's how they get to keep going and like interview Trump for him to call them bad reporters. Like
listen, man, shit gonna be
go
what
to
it's
your
gonna
local
be.
news, people. Go to your
Shit,
local
what
news.
shit is gonna be what it's gonna be. Stack your bread and drink your water, man.
Mm-hmm.
Drink your Coke. Wait, drink your Budweisers too.
That's a fact.
Right.
Make sure y'all boosting your immune system. Fellas, make sure y'all eating a little bit more booty. Booty got the antioxidants.
And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. If you watching this, apply for unemployment.
Eat booty. It's got
Flop
the
on the
and it has the antioxidants, and it comes with a hint, especially if it's a black woman, of black seed oil that boosts your immune system. When you eat a little bit of booty, oh, listen, man,
Fuck with it.
fuck with it.
Fuck with it.
Fuck with it. You heard?
I mean, that got final hate.
My final hate is going to be for the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, all of the leagues trying to start back up. Stop it.
Why? You don't have to.
Stop it. Just stop it.
At this point, and I'm gonna be 100% honest, I want all these niggas to get on their respective sports games and play each other.
NHL and MLB.
All NHL gotta play with their own character.
With their own character. You gotta go crazy.
NHL and NFL, y'all niggas operate in the fall. Like, it's gonna go up in the fall. Second wave gonna be here before the fall. We might even get the third wave in the fall.
We might get 3-0 in July.
So like, yeah, man, just relax, calm down. Y'all might lose a little bread. The bounce back will be crazy. Just know that. Stop thinking about the future. I see a lot of analysts talking about the repercussions if leagues don't play for years to come with bread and shit like that. Nigga, we gonna watch TV. All right, we're gonna watch these games when they come back on, when shit is back regular, and we don't gotta worry about COVID and fucking getting killed by the police. Shit is gonna be regular. Like, just right now, y'all gotta chill.
Okay.
This is it.
I just see what Jay Lentz wrote, and my final hate is for Chris Cuomo and Andrew Cuomo. I don't care what the fuck their name is. Just know you work for me. Don't you ever fucking forget it. All right, you sons of bitches. You niggas pretending like y'all on the people's side. Y'all not on the fucking people's side. You guys are fucking politician and politician's brother that happens to work on the news. Like, we know you guys are working as LeBron and D Wade of dividing the people. Fuck Andrew Cuomo, whatever the fuck this nigga's name is. He is a politician. Always remember that. Please always remember that. Because I seen y'all calling this nigga cute and shit, and that's y'all bae and husband. That's fucking disgusting. Why? Because this nigga don't give a fuck about any of us. This nigga doesn't want to take down Christopher Columbus because the nigga's Italian. Because he's Italian. Because Christopher Columbus, the fucking rapist, biological bomb that he was, bringing all the diseases to the natives, is Italian. That's a reason you shouldn't take down his statue, even though he's a fucking liar because he was trying to go to India and ended up in America. The fuck is wrong with this guy? Anyway, fuck the Cuomo brothers.
Yeah, fuck the Cuomo brothers. This week my final hate. I don't know, man. What's my final hate this week? Oh, my final hate is just a reminder. Like, listen, like y'all can't be everything black one day and everything then like not be with black people doing black shit the next day. I've seen too many black people. Oh, everything we need to be doing everything black, and then once this NBA conversation started, just had a whole different type of take, and it was just so weird to see. Like,
especially on black people
like
that are
do y'all
talking out about it,
do
that are
y'all
in the NBA. They're shitting on there's fellow black people that are in the NBA that
and
don't want to do it.
guess who it is again? Black men.
Black men, of course. Them following their white counterparts.
Niggas.
Like it's
Niggas.
crazy that like these are the same guys that were arguing with the same niggas that's agreeing with them about what's going on with the NBA.
Son, I don't understand people, bro. I just
Niggas
don't
hot.
Oh
understand.
man, secondary hate. The secondary hate is for the niggas who gonna be watching the NFL again when the Chargers sign Kaepernick or something. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Listen, man, it's just I don't know.
Somebody gonna sign that nigga. Just know somebody signing that
I
nigga.
just don't. I might be pessimistic, but I just don't want sports to come back. Like, wait till next year.
Fuck the niggas, man.
It don't matter when it come back. Just know Kaepernick is gonna be in somebody's NFL
Oh
uniform.
yeah, he definitely
And
is.
niggas
Oh wait,
is
I got
gonna be
another final
watching.
hate. My final hate is for my own music. I'm dropping a trash ass song at midnight. Don't listen to it.
My final hate is Trey disrespecting himself. Go listen to his shit when he drops it at midnight. That shit fire.
Yeah, we live, man. We up all night anyway. And then y'all voted, so y'all said 12 instead of 1 tomorrow. So look out for that, feel me?
Facts.
Look out.
Oh, also, Trey,
What up?
you kind of have an announcement
Oh
about.
yeah. Oh man. So like I was saying, like in these times we got to get back to organizing. So we launched Spread Love organization, and we starting back in Queens next Friday. And we're gonna be giving back to the community. Um, we're gonna be feeding the homeless or feeding people in need. Whoever needs food, we're gonna come out and get some food. We out there from 4 to 7. It's on the Coliseum block in Queens. If you want to donate, we got the Cash App, $ Spread Love NYC.
Send bread. Send bread.
Spelled
Facts.
exactly how it sounds. Spread Love NYC. And I just thought it was important to start. You know what I'm saying? With you we when you think about it, the most times when it comes when you build with somebody, you break bread, right? You break bread and you make sure that they nourish and their bodies are nourished, and that's what Spread Love. One of our tenets is making sure we break bread and spread love in our community, because if we're not nourished, if we're not fed, how we gonna fight for our community? You know what I'm saying? So
That's right.
that's the mindset behind that, and it's also an ode to the free breakfast program done by the Black Panther Party, if y'all remember. So that's an ode to that. And we have a couple other tenets and things of that nature that we want to do. So, if you want to get involved and, what I'm saying, be part of the organization, we, of course, what I'm saying, you can't just join, but we would love for y'all to volunteer. And it's not that we don't want you to join, but it's like, we got to know you. We got to get to know you. You got to get to know us. You know what I'm saying? So, these events, if you're interested in helping out, by all means, come out. It's really, we just really be out there. It's not serious and crazy. Like, we of course gonna have a bunch of people there to protect everybody. Um, but it's not serious. We out there having a good time. It's building, and we just giving people food. Literally, we're gonna have
That's
some
it.
music and hopefully have some music and just chill, build, talk shit while we give out food, bro. That's all we doing.
Facts.
And it's gonna be more, you know what I'm saying, like a gathering and a celebration while everybody gets a chance to break bread. So I'm really, really excited for it. Um, and yeah, hopefully, what I'm saying, we can be able to keep this up eternally, and my kids can do this and shit like that.
Facts. You'll
Next
see
Friday.
y'all see me there.
Next
I'm gonna actually leave my house for the first time.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too. Me too. I
y'all
said
probably not gonna see me again till probably the next one.
word up. You're not gonna really see me out like that. But when it comes to these, I'll risk my health for it. Because if I say I'm gonna die for my people, then that's what I mean. You know what I mean? So I'll risk my health for this. It's worth it. I could go out happy saying I was doing some shit like that. But that's it, man. Thank y'all again for popping out. Hopefully y'all show some love. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all spread the video, like the video.
Like the video before you leave.
Um, you know what I mean? Send the video out when you're done. If you fucked with the conversation, if you didn't fuck with the conversation, you can say that shit too.
You can send it out and also say that.
We here to learn and we here to grow. So anything wrong we say, we're willing to take accountability and have you on here to explain why we were wrong and hear you out. So, you know what I mean? Love is love. Again, thank y'all. We really appreciate y'all support over these past few months. The show has grown so fucking much because of y'all.
Exponentially.
Thank y'all again, man. We all out of here. Hey, Chan.
We out of here. Hey, 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 hey.